Hello guys, welcome back. How you all doing today? Hope you're doing well. My name is Cynthia. If you're watching my video for the first time, you're welcome. To my returning subscribers, you guys are highly welcome. So in today's video, we're going to be recreating this dress. So this is my fabric. I have 2.5 yards of cotton fabric, 16 inches by length. Let's get started. The dress is of two sections. My dress length is 52 inches. I'll be using 27 inches for the upper part, and the lower part will be 25 inches. We'll start with the upper part. This is the upper part. I'll be cutting out the front and the back together. This is the back, and this is the front. The front is 2.5 inches bigger than the back one. I'll be using this for the button overlap. So in order not to confuse you guys, I will fold this inside. We'll fold the 2.5 inches inside. That's the button overlap. To know the fabric you're going to cut out, use the biggest part of your body to fold the fabric, plus extra 2 or 3 inches. The biggest part of the upper part is the hip measurement. I added about 2 to 3 inches to it. This is my starting point. And the upper part is 27 inches. I'll be adding 1 inch for sewing allowance. That's 28 inches. I'll mark 28 inches here. The shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches, plus ½ inch for sewing allowance. That's 8.5 inches. I'll mark 8.5 inches here. I'll use 2.7 inches for the wideness of the neck. That's the neck width. I'll use 1 inch for the back depth and the 2.5 inches for the front depth. I'll go ahead and connect it. I will go to the shoulder and mark 1 inch for shoulder slope. I will connect the shoulder slope to the neckline. I will mark the round armhole measurement here, right from the shoulder slope here. To get your armhole measurement, you divide your bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5 inches. The one I'm working with is 8 inches, but I'll make it 7.5 inches because it's a sleeveless dress. I'll minus ½ inch or 1 inch. So I'll mark 7.5 inches here. So this is the shoulder measurement. I marked 8.5 inches here. I will still mark 8.5 inches right on the armhole here. I will connect it. And I'll place a quarter of the bust measurement here. A quarter of the bust measurement is 10.5 inches. I will add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'm not adding ease to the bust area. So this is the midpoint. I will look for the midpoint of the armhole. The midpoint is 3 3/4. Right on this 3 3/4, I will come inside by ½ inch. This is the front armhole. I will connect it, and this is the back armhole. So from shoulder to waist is 17.5 inches. From waist to hip is 9 inches. I'll connect the lines. I'll connect my lines. I will place a quarter of the waist measurement right on the waistline and add extra 1 inch for ease. If it's too big, I can reduce it. So a quarter of the waist measurement is 8.5 inches. I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance and 1 inch for ease. That's 2 inches. I will go to the hip line, mark a quarter of the hip measurement and add extra 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for sewing allowance. A quarter of the hip measurement is 11.5 inches. I will add 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for sewing allowance. I will do the same thing to the hem. I will connect the lines. From the bust, I will bring it to the waistline. From the waist, I will bring it to the hip line. I will also bring it down to the length of the dress. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Don't forget to add ½ inch for sewing allowance at the upper part here. I will bring the front part out. reduce ½ inch. This is the front part. I'll reduce ½ inch here. I will bring the 2½ inches out and split it open. I will fold my button overlap. I'll fold it like so. Fold it like so. So you fold 1 inch first, then fold it again. I'll do the same thing for this side. You fold 1 inch and fold the remaining one again. You have to make sure they are aligned. So I will quickly run a stitch here very close to the tip. I will do the same thing for the side. I'll finish stitching the button overlap. I've also hemmed my sleeve. I cut my strap in a bias form. Stitch it right from the right side and turn it to the wrong side. So what we are going to do is to measure this lower part and use it to cut out our girdle. Before I do that, I will go ahead and stitch my buttonholes. My buttonholes will be on this side, while the buttons will be on this side. So I'll mark 4 inches between each buttonholes. The gap is 4 inches. So I'll mark 1 inch up. I'll be using this for the neckband. The first one will start from the neckband. That's the first one. The second one will be this, 4 inches, 8 inches. I'll be adding the buttons later on. After making the buttonholes, I will lay it like so. I'm laying the overlap against each other. You use this to lap this and stitch up here. I'm done making the buttonholes. I stitch up the lower part here. I will measure this side and use it to cut out the lower part. So I have 27 inches here. I will times it by 2 or by 2.5. So I think I will times it by 2.5. 27 times 2.5 is 67 inches. I have 67 inches here. This is for the front. I will cut out 2 of these. The length is 25 inches. I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. That's 26.5 inches. Length is 26.5 inches and the wideness is 67 inches. Before I make the girdle, I will stitch out the bottom part with 1 inch. I will take ½ inch twice and stitch it all through. After I've done that, I will take the other side, place it like so, right side facing right side. I'll use my gather stitch to stitch this. As I stitch it, I will make the girdle. I'll make sure these 67 inches fit in the upper part, that's the 27 inches. I'll gather this here and use ½ inch to stitch it. I'll repeat the same thing for the back side. So guys, I'm done making the girdle. This is the back. And this is the front. So I'll be joining the front and the back together. I will lay them against each other, right side facing right side. I will match the seam together. Match the girdle side and the match the side also. I will stitch the shoulder with ½ inch and use 1 inch to stitch the side. I'll repeat the same thing for the side. I'm done joining the front and the back together. This is the lower part. It's like it's a little bit too full. If you don't want it too full, you times this bottom part by 2 instead of 2.5 inches. I will be cutting out the neckband. I will measure the round neckline and use it to cut out the neckband. So I have 17.5 inches here. I have done series of this video. I don't supposed to be doing this again. I'll fold this into two like a triangle. From here I will measure 13 inches. I measure 13 inches round, 13 inches round, and connect it. From this 13 inches I'll mark 2.5 inches because I want the band to be 1.5 inches after stitching it. I'll use 1 inch for allowance. So I'll mark 2.5 inches right from this, 2.5 inches. Now connect it. I will cut out two of these. I divided 17.5 inches by 2 plus half inch sewing allowance. So what I have here now is 9 inches folded into 2. I will iron a very light interfacing on one side. I will join them together, right side facing right side. I will use half inch to stitch here, use half inch to stitch here, and bring it down and turn it inside out. So guys, I'm done stitching the neckband. After stitching it, I turn it inside out and give it a good press. I'll be attaching this to the neckline. So I will take it like so. Pin them together. I'll use half inch to stitch it round. So I'm done attaching the neckband to the neck. I will make sure I open the buttonholes. I will attach my buttons on this side. We are done with the dress. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you're here for the first time, please subscribe. Thank you so much guys for watching. I will see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.